Hey, this is Jack from Dead Poet Society, and that just happened.
Hey guys, it is Front Row Joe with That Just Happened. Happy to be out, happy to survive COVID, happy to be here with my guest, Jack from Dead Poet Society. Jack, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, doing well. Now, before we kicked this off, you said that you were where and doing what?
I'm doing what? I'm wearing what?
Yeah, I commented on it looked like a studio. You had some curtains. And you told me you're right in the middle of doing what?
Oh yeah, I'm right in the middle of writing some songs. I got my little setup here. I'm at my friend's house. He's letting me borrow his Neumann, so that's pretty nice. And I thought you meant like, what am I wearing? I'm like, I'm wearing H&M. I don't know.
It's not that kind of show. It's not a fashion show. I can
yeah.
get your rips. I love it. I love it. Well, let's get straight into it. You know, we're talking about music, and you're talking about writing some stuff. We'll get into that in a little bit. But you just had an album that dropped a handful of months ago, right?
Yeah, out in March.
Yeah, right. And the name of that album is?
The name of the album is it's a dash, an exclamation point, and a dash.
So what would you call that?
I have no clue.
See, I was trying to trick you. I saw other interviews where people would guess what to call it, and you said that you love to leave it up to other people to kind of name it. So I was going to try to flip the script and ask you to name it.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know, dude.
I love it, and I think it gives something to talk about, which you're probably tired of talking about it, because you always get asked what that is.
No, I like it when people ask me what it is. I think that I don't know what to call the album, but I've said it in other interviews where it doesn't really matter how you verbally say it because it's recognizable. And if you see it on Spotify, you see it on your phone, you see it on Instagram, anywhere, you know what it's called.
Yeah.
And you can call it whatever you want. Yeah,
I like it. I like it a lot. And what I found interesting with the album art, which is the name, it's a whole art installation, really. The whole album, the exclamation album, is an art installation, and even inclusive in that is the song titles. So you've got dots and dashes and lowercase and uppercase, and at first I thought it was an homage to social media. You know how you try to figure out hashtags, the run-on words, and all of that. Can you expound a little bit more on that? Because you said that you wanted the song titles to evoke a feeling. Is that right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. We didn't know how to
expand on that just a little bit.
Yeah. So when we were coming up with the album and the album title, and we were putting all the little like peripheral fixings on it, basically, we wrote out the album like we normally did. You just put out the track listing, and then somebody, I can't remember who, put like a dot and like a period and a period at either end of the word, and we got rid of the spaces, and it felt right looking at the music with the songs written that way, because art is just an expression of feeling and emotion, and it's nothing more than that. And so what we tend to do is, if something feels right, we just go for it. We go with it, because anything to further that train of thought is important to us.
Right. And now you're one of four. So is it a collective feeling that you all have to have before you go with it? Or do you have to drag some members along, or you have to go with it until maybe they start feeling it? Or how does that work?
I've been in this band 8 years. I still don't even know. Sometimes it's a little bit of everything. It's like, usually for big decisions, we all have to agree upon it before we do anything. But it's been, it's like a weird functional, but at the same time dysfunctional marriage that we have going on, and it's working somehow.
Yeah.
So
Well, 8 years is a long time for anything, especially a band, a relationship like that.
Yeah.
So, kudos to you. You got some magic sauce in there, I believe.
Thanks.
Yeah, and it all culminates in this album. One of the great things I love about this album, and I'll date myself a little bit, is it kind of reminds me of FM radio of old, where you listen to Top 40, or you listen to maybe the rock station. You would get some pop. You would get a little bit of blues, maybe. You would get a little bit of rock and roll. And this album is so diverse in its kind of melding of styles, right? And I think in watching some of your interviews, and you're saying that you didn't have a rock and roll upbringing. You had a very narrow music catalog that you listen to, and it shows, because there's any type of rules, if there were rules, are out the window for these songs, right? They don't fit neatly in a box. I couldn't say. I've got some notes here that Love You Like That has a real Royal Blood influence, it sounds like. I know they're a favorite of yours as well. Salt kind of reminds me of a Sleigh Bells meets Corn type deal, right?
Yeah.
But like the way, but the way that you guys take specifically Coda and specifically Coda, the way that you take the blues guitar riff and then just crank it up to 11 with some grungy goodness is just feels really good on my ears. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, and so you mentioned that you want the album cover to evoke a feeling. You want the way that the song titles are styled to evoke a feeling. What do you want listeners of your new album to feel after they listen to your new album?
I want them to feel everything that we feel when we wrote it, you know? That's when we went through the album, sort of consciously and subconsciously, we decided that it would be awesome if we could write something that touched on every emotion going all the way through, from happy, sad, angry. And it kind of fits in line with the way we write in general, because we just we let the art dictate the art. And I say that a lot, but it doesn't matter to us to fit in some sort of vein or genre or particular sound. If we think it's good, we'll put it out. And that culminates in a very, very diverse sounding album that has a little bit of everything in it.
Yeah. Well, it certainly holds true, and it really is a lot of fun to listen to, because the first song is not like the second song, which is not like the third song, and it really does. I know that you guys hadn't been in the past an album. It took you a while to put this album together, because you had to feel, again, just like you said, it had to be right before you put an album together. And before that, it was EPs and singles. But it does seem like, for sure, that there is a journey going on, and there's ups and downs, and there's peaks and there's valleys. And it's just, I feel I have to sit down and take a rest after listening to the album. Because cool, it's so emotional. And so, again, the highs and lows, you just feel like you've been through a workout after listening to it. So I really think that that this is something that can be listened to over and over and over again, and it won't get old, because it's so diverse. So anyway, my 2 cents.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, for sure. So you talked about the feeling you hope would be evoked by people listening to it. And I know that you guys picked up after graduation, moved from Boston to LA. You mentioned you're working on new stuff. Boston, LA, culture shock, different, as east as far from the west, literally.
Yeah.
What kind of impact has that had on your songwriting or the sound of your music? Has it kind of rubbed off a little on you, or?
No, I wouldn't really say that moving has impacted the sound necessarily as far as like influences or the way we write. I think that moving out here gave me a lot of life experience. I've been out here for 5 years now, and that is huge for writing. I mean, it's been a massive, massive inspiration to just like go through all of the things that I've gone through. That, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. So it's life experiences, whether it's in Boston, LA, or Timbuktu.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, I wouldn't think that you would change necessarily as a person or your band would change, but I was just curious how much your environment influences outside of your, you know, personal experiences, but how the environment, you know, impacts that.
Well, I think that the environment and moving out here has definitely changed me as a person. I definitely think I'm a very, very different person than who I was when I left Boston. And that, going back to the other thing, has a massive impact on how you write, what you write, everything you do. I write from a place that I know. That's the only place that I can write from, is my life experience. And so whether I'm feeling good, angry, sad, whatever, that gets expressed. And putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, like moving across the country, like getting jobs and trying to put tours together and manage work life and music and all that kind of stuff. It adds a lot of stress and impact. And I take those things and I try to put them into 3.5 minutes.
Yeah. Gotcha. Gotcha. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's shift gears just a little bit. Something that I'm really excited about is to see you guys pop up on the roster for Shiprock 2022.
Yeah.
And to be able to see you guys in that, talking about environment, that's going to be a brand new environment for you, right? Never played on a ship before.
Yeah, I'm excited, dude. It's gonna be
so
fun.
what are your expectations? What are you going into this type of experience? What kind of expectations do you have? Dude,
I have no expectations. I have no idea what to expect. I've never even been on a cruise before, so this is going to be a wild time.
Wow, you're jumping right into the deep end.
Yeah, I'm just going to play shows. I'm going to meet artists. I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to meet fans. I'm going to get drunk. I'm going to eat too much. It's just going to be a good time.
I love it. Yeah, and that's what it's all for sure. And well, you're gonna have some good pals that have you know, taken you under their wing. Your Bad Flower buddies are going to be on there. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure they'll help you out. But I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys in that environment. You're playing what, 2 sets on the boat, and it's over, you know, 5 days, so that gives you a lot of time to, you know, like you said, meet fans, but also see the other bands play. Are there any particular bands that you're looking forward to seeing perform?
I'm looking forward to all of it, to be honest. I'm going to just hit as many shows as I possibly can. And, you know, of course, see my boys in Bad Flower. And, yeah, it's going to be good. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to it. How about we kind of wrap up with some fan questions? It's a new segment that I just created right now today during this show. It's called Fans Want to Know.
Okay.
So yeah, I got some fan questions for you. So and some of these are pretty deep. I might have to put them on the payroll for my research team. I don't know. It's some good stuff. But the first one here is from songwriting sessions in the Mash Palace in Berkeley to live shows in Tampico, Mexico with Joe and Sputnik. What are some of the more interesting places you've played? And first of all, can you explain the Mash Palace?
Okay, so the Mash Palace was this old house in Brighton, Mass, I think. It was like way out on the Green Line. And we used to practice there. It's actually where we filmed our first music video ever, which was a song called 145. It's like 7 years old at this point.
Oh, wow.
And it was just this old house that there was like this rumor that John F. Kennedy used to have his like affairs there or some shit like that. I don't really know. But that was the Mash Palace. That was the Mash Palace. I had a guitar stolen there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Just a giant old house. As far as like interesting places that I've played, Tampico is definitely up there as far as interesting places. Jeez. I mean, there's just been hilarious shows that we've played that have always been interesting places. Like we played this one place called Crown Station Pub in North Carolina.
Okay.
And we get there, the manager doesn't even know we're scheduled to play that night. None of the wait staff do. They're just, it's this tiny little like bar cafe thing. We get in there, we bring all our equipment in. The stage is only big enough to fit the drums. So we put the drums up on the stage and the rest of us are just standing like in the aisle, like just blocking people. There's two people in the whole restaurant. Okay. And we start playing and they just get up and leave. So, there's no one behind the bar. There's no one in this whole restaurant. We're just playing to an empty shell of a room. And then we finish our set, which is probably like 30 minutes. Two guys come right back inside and start watching football.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. I was listening to an interview actually with Aaron Jones, who's going to be on the ship. Cool. And so, yeah, very pumped to see him. But he was talking about playing smaller crowds, smaller clubs, and his advice was play like it's 100,000 people that you're playing to, because you are playing for someone. If no one is in there, like the two people that got up and left, there's still the wait staff. There's still the bar staff. There's still
there was no one in this.
No, they all just left.
The restaurant was empty, dude. But we were like 30 seconds in.
So what did you do? You went ahead and rocked your whole set list, or did you?
Yeah, we played it. We played it. We got paid, and we left, dude. It was great.
It's a practice jam session, man. That you get paid for, right?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. All right, here's another one then. There's a photo on Facebook from 2013. This is going back a little ways, Jack. You with a longboard. Are you still into longboarding now that you're out in California?
Oh, geez. No, I don't. I stopped longboarding probably like my senior year of college. I was on my way to a session. I was getting drunk with a bunch of waitresses that I worked with, and I had to make it to like a session to do some recording, and then I was going to come back. And this was on Mission Hill, which is literally a massive hill. And I left the place that I was drinking at, and I was longboarding down this like street that turns into just like a vertical drop basically. And I'm slightly tipsy. I'm kind of carving back and forth. And then next thing I know, I'm going like 25, 30 miles an hour. And I don't know like how I got that fast. I'm approaching a red light. So I'm like, all right, I got to bail. And I step off the front of the board and then just belly flop straight onto the pavement. And I slide like 20 feet. And I'm just like laying there and I can't breathe. And I was just like, I broke all my ribs. I start feeling my ribs. Okay, they're fine. They're fine. I still can't breathe though. And I hear two things. I hear a woman scream like, oh my God, runs over. Do you need an ambulance? And then I hear, oh shit, I wish I filmed that. Some other dude comes running up with my longboard. He's like, that was crazy, dude. I'm just laying there just like, oh my God, I can't breathe. So after that.
That must have been a great wipeout. You must have scorpion or something too.
Yeah, dude, it was rough. My whole front torso was bruised and like scratched up. And after that, I was kind of like, you know what? I'm good on this. I'm going to walk. I think I'm going to walk.
Cured, yeah. Public transportation from here on out.
Exactly.
I love it. So let's talk about symbols again then. The symbol that came along, next question, the symbol that came along with the release of the Axiom EP quickly became synonymous with the band. Who was the creative mind behind the symbol, and what was the meaning?
I found it online because I was looking for a logo for the band, and we were at the time, and I found it, and it's like an inverted, like a negative version of a West African symbol for initiative. I just thought it looked really dope. I liked the meaning behind it, and we decided, yeah, that looks awesome. So we kept it for a few years because it had kind of a deeper meaning to us, because we've always we've always taken initiative. We've always done everything ourselves until, this past album, but it was nobody gave a shit. Nobody gives a shit when you're new. Nobody gives a shit for a very long time. And you kind of have to figure that out on your own. And you're the only one pedaling the bike. And so that symbol kind of meant a lot to us.
Wow. Yeah. I love it. That's great. That's good stuff. All right. Last but not least, here's the last one of the segment. I guess this is another social media. What is the context behind the picture of Doctor, astronaut, professor, actor, and Johnny Sins on the Dead Poet Society Facebook page?
Wait, what are you talking about?
Yeah, because I took a look real quick now, and I saw that there was a happy birthday shout out to Johnny Sins, right?
Oh yeah, our drummer.
Yeah. Gotcha. And I mean the two, I mean the drummer and the Johnny Sins, very, very similar in
the doppelgangers.
Yeah. I love it. Okay, so that's what that was. I got it. All right.
Yeah, Will's a little bit of above. He's a step above Johnny Sins, I'd say in the looks department. But yeah.
I love it. Well, last but not least, I told you the name of the outfit is That Just Happened. So we want to know what your That Just Happened moment has been up to this point.
Okay, so when I was 20-ish, 21, I think I was 21, I went to go see a band called Alter Bridge.
For sure.
Yeah, you know who they are. Yeah. And I hadn't seen them. I had been a fan for like years. And I saw that they were playing the Royale in Boston. And I bought a ticket to go see them. I was standing in line. And they said, like, hey, if anybody wants a VIP ticket, they're, $150. Like, last call, we had a few left over. I was like, I think I have $150. Check my bank account. I had exactly $150. I'm like, hell yeah. So I buy a ticket. Yeah, I get a ticket. And I go in with everybody. And one of the parts of the VIP experience is you get to watch the sound check. And so they come up on stage, but I noticed like the singer, Miles Kennedy, isn't there. Mark Tremonti leans up on the mic and goes, hey, Miles is sick. He's at the doctor's right now. Like, does anybody know how to sing or any of our songs? And I was like, yo.
Get out.
And he was like, oh, okay, cool. All right, you want to sing? And I was like, yeah. He was like, what song? I was like, Find the Real. And he was shocked at how quickly I answered that. I was like, I had it on lock. I was like, I'm ready to go. So I go up there.
Way up there in that register. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. And I went up there and just fucking killed it and played it, the whole thing with them, and sound checked for Miles Kennedy. And I was just like shaking after. I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Oh my God. That is certainly a That Just Happened moment. And now did you nail that long, 13-second note right up in there? That is crazy. Dude. That is crazy. That's the Rockstar moment, right? The movie that he was in, where he gets pulled up on stage. And,
yeah, ironic, right?
Yeah. Wow, full circle. That is too cool. That's definitely a That Just Happened moment. All right, guys. So this is Front Row Joe. That is Jack over there. And that just happened.